A movie about a Minnesota rowing crew coming up next. Why the story of what these Gophers did is unforgettable. Tonight in Northeast Minneapolis, there will be a reading of a new film called Remember Minnesota. It's about the 1987 University of Minnesota men's rowing crew. And joining me now are John Carroll Lynch, the director of the film and co-writer, and Brad Melby, a member of that crew that actually took place in 1987. And thanks both for being here.
Thank you.
Fellas, I want to ask you, first of all, how this idea came about. You actually were getting some financial advice
That's right.
at the time.
I was working at the Guthrie Theater with my wife, Brenda Wheel, and Brenda's name came up for $7.50 from Ameriprise for Brad. And while she was working with him, she saw an oarhead on the wall, and he told her the story of his crew time, and then she told me to ask him. And the minute I heard the story, it was just so captivating and powerful that I knew it needed to be a movie.
Brad, you were a part of this men's crew team back in 1987, and you said you were kind of a sports underachiever all those years, but here you are, part of something that was so special at the time. You were competing against Ivy League schools and winning all the way.
In fact, I probably was a life underachiever.
Is that right?
being barely able to make it into college, and then finding myself being recruited for this rowing team, and we were a club sport, and so we had to do all of our funding ourselves, and going up against the likes of the Harvards and the Yales in that time was just amazing for me, and it was inspirational.
Here's a picture of the crew members, actually. Which one are you, Brad?
I am from the left, the third one in from the left. Don't I look exactly the same?
Now, the medals that you have around your necks, what does that signify?
That is a gold medal award for the world's largest rowing regatta, the Dad Vales in Philadelphia. So this was the highlight of our careers as rowers, to be able to achieve this with 4 rowers who were going up against teams who had 20, 30, 40 on their teams.
Yeah, here's the actual 4 members out in the shell.
Just after we won the Dad Vale, we were pulling up to the awards dock, and you can see we were just elated.
Yeah. Now, it's been described that this story is really Minnesota's version of Chariots of Fire or Rocky. John, tell us a little bit about that. Are you getting some interest from Hollywood movie makers?
We have gotten some interest, and we have a director attached. I'm directing the reading today, but the director of the film, we have a man attached named Mikhail Solomon, who's a tremendously talented director. And we hope to start shooting here May 2008.
For somebody who hasn't been to a reading of a screenplay before, what can they expect tonight?
Well, what they can expect is like listening to a radio play. We have a tremendously talented group of actors coming tonight to volunteer their time, including Sue Scott, who's going to be reading the narration for the movie, and boy, you couldn't ask for somebody better than Sue Scott to do it, since she's worked so long in radio. So it'll be like listening to a really tremendously powerful radio play.
Well, John, Brad, thank you so much for being with us. Now you've piqued my interest, and I want to read this script.
And come by and you can have it read to you.
And tonight, let's talk about that. If you want to attend tonight's script reading, it's at the newly renovated Ritz Theater. That's in Northeast Minneapolis. The reading starts at 7 o'clock. It'll cost you $10 to get in the door.
That's right.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.